Hello watch fans, it's Anders here on Watch On channel. So a very quick walkthrough of the new releases presented at Watches and Wonders in Genève this morning from Rolex and Tudor. So some interesting new releases, and of course also something that is not very surprising because especially Rolex is all about incremental adjustments to the collection and not a lot of news, but one big new watch from Rolex. And we're going to walk through the watches here very quickly, and then of course a lot of content is going to come out. Also, if you didn't see the world premiere I had here on my channel of the new Oris PROPILOT X Caliber 400 in titanium, you can click the link up in the right hand corner or down in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So let's get into it. And for me, the most interesting new release from Rolex is actually a new version of a known watch. A model in the collection that a lot of people were speculating was going to get discontinued, but they actually didn't discontinue it. They actually made a new version of the Air King, maybe one of the most confusing and hated Rolex watches because it's just a very weird design. But what they did are some really good adjustments to this watch, in my opinion. First of all, it looks like they put it in a new case. They use a new clasp. You do get some nice crown guards, and the most important thing in my opinion is that now all the hour markings are actually loomed. So on the older version they weren't all loomed, now they're loomed, and it looks much more like a Rolex sports watch now in this version. It is kind of a basic Rolex watch, which we can see on the price, which is approximately $8,500 as far as I know. They did introduce the Air King in 2016 and was part of a project with a racing car. The racing car project was discontinued, but I really think it's interesting that they are actually taking a new look at the Air King. I like the look. I was hoping personally that they would actually also introduce maybe a new version of the Milgauss. I'm not quite sure if they actually did discontinue the Milgauss, but I actually think a Milgauss in the same version, smaller, slimmed down case as the new Air King would have been really cool. But overall, I really like this Air King, and I think this is going to revitalize the Air King as a part of the Rolex collection. I think a lot of people will be hungering for this watch, and you will of course be getting on the waiting list for 20 years before you get one or something like that. So the other thing which is very interesting in the new Rolex lineup introduced here at Watches and Wonders 2022 is the new Rolex GMT Master 2 with a green and black ceramic bezel insert. So we of course know the Pepsi with the blue and the red, we know the Coke with the black and the red, and we know the Batman with the black and the blue, but now it's actually black and green. And the other very interesting thing with this new GMT Master 2 is that they actually decided to place the crown on the left side, which is quite amazing. So I never expected that they would actually make these coloring, and especially I didn't expect that they would place the crown on the left side. So a very interesting move from Rolex, and of course the green on the half of the bezel insert as well as the GMT hand is the typical Rolex racing green. We also do see a new Day-Date 40 and a new Yachtmaster 42 and a new Oyster Perpetual 31, but I'm not going to get much into those watches. I think they're kind of something that we would expect. The Yachtmaster is now in gold, as you can see, in kind of yellow, shiny, polished gold. So that's probably the most interesting thing about that one. So moving on to the little brother, if you could say that, or the sister company to Rolex, and that is Tudor. And there were a lot of expectation about Tudor actually looking into the GMT watches, and what they actually did is release a new Black Bay Pro GMT watch in 39mm on a stainless steel bracelet, on a leather strap, or on a NATO strap. What is very interesting about this watch is that it actually looks like the Rolex Explorer 2, the very first version. They actually made an homage to a Rolex watch. So looking at your screen now, you can see this watch. This is priced at 29,000 Danish crowns, which is probably around $4,500 US. So a nice price point. Very interesting that they actually made Tudor are making an homage watch to Rolex. And they stay in the GMT vein because they also did a new Black Bay GMT Steel and Gold S&G, which is the way that they pronounce their two-tone watches. And this is very interesting because this is kind of in the same vein as we know with the Rolex GMT Master 2, with the kind of purple or burgundy and black dial with gold. So this is a two-tone watch, 41 millimeters. So in the usual bigger Tudor case. Very interesting. Of course, a lot of other news will come out about these watches. I just want to make a very quick walkthrough of these watches, and I hope you enjoyed this short video. Enjoy all of the new watches. Of course, a lot of other brands than Rolex and Tudor and Oris. Exciting days for us watch lovers. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy all the news. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and leave a comment down below. What do you think about all of these new watch releases, especially from Rolex and Tudor? Thank you for watching. Bye.